Parents grow old quietly, not seeking reward, only longing for presence, and when they are gone, no success, no wealth can fill the silence they leave behind. So if your parents are alive, call them, visit them, listen to their stories, even when they repeat them, because one day, their silence will speak louder than words. The morning sunlight touched the small window of a modest suburban home in Seattle. The curtains swayed lightly in the breeze, carrying the smell of fresh rain. Inside, a young man named Ethan Parker, 27 years old, sat at the kitchen table, scrolling through his phone. His face was clean-shaven, his clothes neatly pressed. He looked like someone who had his life together. But behind that calm appearance, his heart carried a quiet irritation. Across the table sat his mother, Mary Parker, a frail woman in her early 70s. Her silver hair was tied back neatly. Her wrinkled hands trembled slightly as she held her cup of tea. The spoon clinked against the cup again and again, small, rhythmic, and unintentional. The sound, though harmless, pierced Ethan's patience like a needle. "Mom," he sighed, not looking up from his phone, "could you please not make that sound? It's kind of distracting." Mary froze. "Oh, I'm sorry, dear," she whispered softly. "My hands shake sometimes. I don't mean to." "It's fine," Ethan interrupted. "Just try to be careful." There was silence for a moment, broken only by the faint hum of the refrigerator. Mary smiled faintly and took another sip, this time trying not to move her hands too much. The distance between them. Ethan was an engineer at a growing tech company. His days were long and full of meetings, emails, and deadlines. He liked structure, order, and silence. His mother, on the other hand, was the kind of person who filled silence with stories from the past about his late father, about the days when Ethan was just a boy chasing rainbows and scraping his knees on the porch steps. But as Ethan grew, so did the distance between them. After his father's death, Mary had poured all her energy into raising him alone, working extra shifts at a grocery store, skipping her own meals so Ethan could have his favorite food, staying up late to help with homework she barely understood. Ethan never forgot those things, but somehow, adulthood had a way of burying gratitude under the weight of ambition. He wanted to move ahead, to make something of himself. The world demanded speed, and his mother moved too slowly. One evening, as they sat watching the news, Ethan's phone buzzed. It was an email from his company's headquarters in San Francisco. They were offering him a promotion, a senior position, better pay, a fresh start. His heart leaped, but the excitement faded when he glanced at his mother, sitting quietly beside him, knitting a sweater that might take her months to finish. She looked peaceful but lonely. "Mom," Ethan began, "I got an offer. It's in San Francisco. A big step for my career." Marty looked up, her eyes lighting up with pride. "Oh, Ethan, that's wonderful, my dear. You've worked so hard for this." "Yeah," he said, smiling faintly, "but it means I'll have to move there. Maybe for a while." Her hands stopped knitting. "Move," she repeated softly. "Just for a bit," Ethan said quickly. "I can visit, of course. And I'll find you someone to help around the house. Maybe a caretaker." Mary looked down at her hands. "A caretaker," she murmured. "You mean someone else to take care of me? It's just temporary," Ethan insisted. "You'll be fine." She forced a smile, though her eyes glistened. "I'll be fine, yes," she said quietly. "They move." A month later, Ethan packed his things and moved to San Francisco. The city was bright, loud, and full of opportunity. He threw himself into work, meetings, and social events. Life was fast and efficient, exactly what he wanted. He called his mother once a week. Their conversations were short. "How are you, Mom?" "Oh, I'm fine, dear. The garden's doing well. The roses are blooming." "That's good. I'll visit soon." But soon stretched into months. Mary, meanwhile, spent her days alone. She would walk slowly through the garden, talking softly to the plants as if they could hear her. She would sit by the window every evening, looking at the road, hoping to see Ethan as the car pull in. She never complained, but loneliness has a way of showing itself in silence. To visit. One winter weekend, Ethan decided to visit. He arrived late at night, The house quiet and cold. Inside, everything was just as he had left it, except quieter. "Mom?" he called softly. There was no answer. He found her asleep on the couch, a blanket around her shoulders. The TV still on a low volume. On the table beside her lay an unfinished letter. He picked it up and read, "My dearest son, I know you're busy, and I don't want to disturb you. I'm so proud of the man you've become every night. I thank God for giving me a son like you. I know you think I need help, but truthfully, I only need your company once in a while. The house feels empty without your voice, but I'm happy knowing you're chasing your dreams. With love, Mom." Ethan's throat tightened. He folded the letter carefully and placed it back on the table. The next morning, Mary woke up and saw him. Her face lit up with joy, her eyes watery. "Ethan, you came." He smiled awkwardly. "Yeah, just for the weekend." They sat together at breakfast. This time, when her spoon clinked against the cup, Ethan said nothing. He just watched her, hand-souled, trembling, but still full of love. The lesson in the park that afternoon. Ethan took her for a walk in the park. The air was crisp, the trees shedding their last autumn leaves. They walked slowly, arm in arm. "Do you remember this place?" she asked. "Of course," he said. "You used to bring me here every Sunday." She nodded. "You used to chase pigeons. Remember, you'd run until you fell, then cry until I picked you up?" Ethan laughed softly. "Yeah, that was a handful." Mary smiled. "You were my world, Ethan. You still are." They sat on a bench, watching children play in the distance. A little boy was trying to tie his shoes while his mother knelt beside him, guiding his small hands. Ethan watched quietly. Something inside him shifted a memory. Long buried, he remembered his own mother tying his shoes, feeding him when he was sick, staying awake during storms when he was afraid of thunder. She had given everything, quietly and without complaint, and now he realized she was growing old while he looked away. The breaking point a few months later, Ethan received a call from his mother's neighbor. "Ethan, it's about your mom. She had a fall this morning. She's in the hospital." His heart sank. Within hours, he was on a flight back to Seattle. At the hospital, he found her lying on the bed, her arm in a sling, her face pale but calm. When she saw him, her eyes soft. "Oh, Ethan." He didn't have to come so quickly. He held her hand tightly. "Of course I did. Mom, I should have been here. The doctor enters, she'll recover, but she needs support for a while." He said she shouldn't be alone. Ethan nodded, guilt heavy in his chest. That night, he sat beside her, unable to sleep. He looked at her fragile frame, the lines on her face, the quiet rise and fall of her breath. He whispered, "I'm sorry, Mom, for everything, for not being here." Mary opened her eyes slightly and smiled. "Don't be sorry, my dear. I know life pulls you away. Just promise me one thing." "Anything," he said. "Don't forget where you came from." She said softly, "The world will always demand more from you, but don't let it take your heart." Tears welled in his eyes. He nodded silently. The return home after Mary was discharged, Ethan decided to stay with her for a while. He worked remotely, spending his mornings helping her with breakfast, his afternoons in the garden, and his evenings listening to her stories. At first, it felt strange, slower, quieter, but sooner, he began to cherish it. The simple rhythm of life brought him peace he hadn't felt in years. One evening they sat watching the sunset. Mary said softly, "You know, Ethan, when you were little, you used to hold my hand everywhere we went. You said you'd never let go." He smiled. "I guess I forgot that." She looked at him gently. "Well, it's never too late to remember." The farewell. A year later, Mary passed away peacefully in her sleep. Ethan found her with a small smile on her face, her hands folded as if in prayer. Beside her bed was a note addressed to him. "My dear Ethan, don't cry for me. I've lived a full life, and you've made me proud. Remember, love doesn't fade with distance or death, it only grows stronger when shared. Keep kindness in your heart, and never let the noise of the world drown the voice of gratitude. With love, all his mom. Ethan pressed the letter to his chest and wept. The legacy years passed. Ethan married, had children, and built a successful career, but he never forgot his mother's words. Every Sunday, he took his kids to the same park where he once played. He told them stories about their grandmother, the woman who never stopped loving, never stopped giving, even when her hands trembled and her heart carried silence. And whenever his little daughter clinked her spoon against her cup, he smiled and said softly, "Don't worry, sweetheart, that sound reminds me of someone very special." Moral of the story. The story of Ethan and his mother is a reminder that time is the most precious gift we can give. In chasing success, we often forget the hands that once held ours, the hearts that prayed for our dreams before we even believed in them. Parents grow old quietly, not seeking reward, only longing for presence. And when they are gone, no success, no wealth can fill the silence they leave behind. So if your parents are alive, call them, visit them, listen to their stories, even when they repeat them, because one day their silence will speak louder than words.